Salve, Skibuli. Okay, we're going to take a look at lesson 45, grammar. There's not a whole heck of a lot going on here. There's one big new construction. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to have you watch it. I'm going to have you see it in action first, and then we'll talk about what it is. So we're going to get a few sentences to work with here. We start with tibi imperabam ut discateres. Okay, so hopefully we immediately recognize that there are two main verbs in this sentence. And maybe we'll even recognize that the second of those two verbs is a subjunctive verb. Note the ERE in here. Okay, you might remember our imperfect subjunctive is the second part, discatera, plus an ending. Okay, so we know we've got a subjunctive verb over here. This is a regular indicative verb. If we've got two verbs, we must have two clauses, and it'll divide right at the ut. So far, this is stuff you have a basic concept of. You understand this. Subjunctive, ut. Main verb, you get this. We've seen this before with purpose clauses. Okay, so let's see what happens when we translate. Imperabam, notice the M here. That tells you the subject is what? That's right. The subject must be I, right? Because bam has a subject of I. Impero, we get the word imperative from this. This means to command or order. So I was ordering to you, okay? Or I was commanding to you. In other words, I was ordering you. Makes sense, right? When you command to someone, that just means you command them. So I was ordering you, ut, that, discateres, that you leave. Discato means to leave. Okay, so I was ordering to you that you leave. Well, can you simplify that? What does that basically mean? How about I was ordering you to leave? That makes sense. I was ordering you to leave. Let's try another one. Feminas rogamus ne discedant. You'll notice once again we have two main verbs. You'll notice, well, this is difficult to notice, but the second one is subjunctive. Discato, discatera. Third conjugation, so it has an A here. That means subjunctive. This one's regular indicative. We have two verbs, so we have two clauses. This time we'll divide it to ne. Okay? We have feminas over here in the accusative case. Up here we had tibi in the dative. Okay? So, what do we end up with? Rogamus. Think about what the subject of must is. This must mean we. So we ask the women. Okay? We ask the women. That, and this is a ne instead of an ut, so it's going to be a that not. We ask the women that, discedant, that they not leave. We ask the women that they not leave. Another way to express this, guys, how would you put this into easy English? We ask the women not to leave. Okay? So up here we had I ordered you to leave. We ask the women not to leave. Okay? Then number 3. And we'll talk in the end about how each of these are just a little bit different in structure. Number 3, once again, it has two main verbs, postelaverent and legeret. It's therefore going to have two clauses divided at the ut. We've got librum in the accusative over here, and over here we actually have a prepositional phrase. All right. Once again, to the right of our ut or ne, we have a subjunctive, legeret. Notice the legera plus an ending. That's an imperfect subjunctive, just like discaterus. Discatera plus an ending. Okay? So postulaverunt. The subject is hinted at by the NT. Postulo means to demand. So, they demanded from the sun. Okay? They demanded from the sun that he read the Librum, that he read the book. They demanded from the sun that he read the book. What's a simpler way to express that in English? They demanded that the sun read the book. Okay? There are your 3 sentences. Those are 3 examples, and make sure you're taking notes on all of this. Those are 3 examples of what are called indirect commands. Okay? In some sense, all of these sentences are commands, but they're indirect commands. I ordered you to leave. Okay? Meaning at one point I said to you, hey you, leave, which is a command, but I'm reporting it indirectly. We asked the women not to leave. So at one point we said, hey women, don't leave. Okay? Because they were running away from us, evidently. I'm not sure why. Number 3, they demanded from the son that he read the book. In other words, hey son, read the book. That's what they demanded at one point. So these are indirect commands. Okay? How do we spot an indirect command? An indirect command is going to start with a verb of asking, advising, commanding, suggesting, something like that. Okay? We just saw words like demand, ask, order. Those are words of asking, advising, or commanding. Okay, so it'll have a main verb like that. Then it will have either an ut or a ne, just like we saw in the last sentence. An ut meaning that, or a ne meaning that not. And then the third ingredient, it will have a subjunctive verb. You'll notice this makes these look a lot like purpose clauses. Remember that purpose clauses had some verb over here, then they had an ut or a ne, then they had a subjunctive. Purpose clauses always answered the question, why? He went to the store. Why? In order to buy groceries. Okay, these indirect commands will not answer the question, why? I ordered you. Why did you order me? Well, it's more like, what did you order me? I ordered you to leave. We asked the women. Why did we ask the women? No, what did we ask the women? We asked the women not to leave. Okay, so these do not really technically answer the question why. Alright, so there's an indirect command. A verb of asking, advising, commanding, an ut or a ne, and a subjunctive verb. They will look like purpose clauses, but they are not translated exactly like purpose clauses. Alright, we're at about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That's all you need to know for now. We'll talk just a little bit more about it tomorrow, as well as look at some more examples. But shoot, I'm sorry, there's one other thing. This will only take a few seconds that I wanted to point out. One other thing. You'll notice that this is a verb of asking, right? Asking, ordering, suggesting, okay? Notice they have different things following them. This has a dative following it. This has an accusative following it. And this has a prepositional phrase. Those are the 3 different possibilities. Some words will take a dative, like I ordered to you, I ordered you. Some will take an accusative, like we asked the women. And some will take a prepositional phrase. They demanded from the sun. Okay, so be aware that some will take a dative, some accusative, some prepositional phrase. All right, we're at 9:30. That is all I have for you. Waleta.